It all happened in a moment of thick, suffocating silence. Brianda stood quietly, her face pale, her lips pressed together as if they had forgotten how to part. Her eyes heavy with something far deeper than fear. She didn't move, she didn't blink, she didn't even attempt to defend herself. Her hands hung loosely by her sides, the weight of her own existence suddenly feeling too heavy for her to bear. Then her mother's voice came again, sharper this time, cutting through the heavy silence like a whip.
Who is responsible? Who got you pregnant?
It was no longer soft tone from Alia. It was a demand, laced with disbelief, then something that sounded dangerously close to anger and heartbreak. But Brianda remained still, her eyes fixed on the floor and the words of her mother echoing in her mind like a hammer striking the same spot over and over again. She didn't answer. But her silence wasn't born out of stubbornness or bravery, it was the silence of someone crushed under a weight too great for words. It was the silence of a soul fractured into pieces, too fragile to be touched, too wounded to bleed again. Her father's jaw clenched, his face twisted in anger.
You don't want to talk, right? You're going to have this baby. Maybe, just maybe, you'll learn your lesson after having it.
Without waiting for a response, he turned sharply and stormed out of the living room, his footsteps echoing down the hallway until they faded. Her mother sank into the sofa, pushing both hands against her forehead as if she was trying to keep her thoughts from exploding. Her voice came out low, trembling, almost a whisper meant for herself.
My village people. They have finally gotten to my family.
The disappointment in her tone was like a blade, sharp and cold. She looked at her daughter. Not just with anger, but with the deep ache of a mother who felt she had failed. Her only child was pregnant, and the worst part, she wouldn't even say who was responsible. Not after their calm questioning. Not after their threats. And not even after their anger. At the edge of the dining area, by the doorway, Casey stood frozen. His mind was blank, his chest tight, his heart pounding hard enough for him to hear it. His face was caught somewhere between confusion and helplessness. He felt an ache for Brianda that he couldn't put into words. He wished, desperately wished, he could shield her, fix this mess. But he couldn't. Casey was not just any boy in the house. He was a 20-year-old nephew of Mr. Allen, Brianda's father, and he had lived with them for nearly his entire life. His parents had died in a car accident when he was only 8.